All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. Man, these are definitely some recent runners that we're going to be looking at right now, all right? It's actually been a while since I've covered coins, so I really wanted to start with this one, but juggernaut of a day. I mean, 25% on a single day, monster to say the least, all right? Mara Marathon, I covered that not that long ago. I said give that doji a chance to do its thing, and man, it did. I don't know if you wrote that or not, but that's actually done, I think, almost 50% up since the last time I actually covered that stock. And then Nikola was literally a juicy setup on one of my more recent videos, and dude, it literally delivered the whole thing on this single day. You know what I mean? So very, very, very recent runners on these, to say the least. You know what I mean? So really cool video, and honestly, a lot of them, they don't seem like they're over yet. All right, so just a lot of good happening, to say the least. But again, before we go any further, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how this thing is setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are some horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to the channel, share this video on the internet, comment good or bad. Yeah, if you disagree, I'm not here to hate with you. We'll have some good conversations, you know what I mean? But anything you can do really, really does help me out. But for real, just giving me your time is super appreciated, all right? So let's get into it. And man, you can see it. I know a lot of it looks like my lines are good, and believe me, I like my lines, trust me with that, right? But really the story I want to talk about is that there's a reason why we're looking this kind of zoomed out right now, okay? So there are only 5 moving averages that I care about, and 1, 2, 3, 4, all 5 start to get really, really tight, all right? And I call that a moving average cluster, all right? It's not a very fancy or technical term, but you know, it does the job, right? You have a cluster of these going horizontally, and what ends up happening, man, it goes towards the bottom, goes to the top, goes to the bottom, looks like it's going to escape, ends up going back down to the bottom, goes to the top, looks like it's going to lose it, looks like it takes off, and obviously does, right? So these things are hard to trade, but you will see some violent ups and violent downs. And fortunately here, it was a violent up. You know what I mean? So, and then again, from there, I drew some lines that actually you can see were pretty good, right? These were a little tight. It kills it on one candle. It pretty much runs really quickly to here, and then, you know, pretty quickly runs to there. And then we're actually not even that far from my next one. And why was that? A lot of it was this red, 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 green, 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 green. And then, you know, just a lot of good. Obviously, the Bitcoin itself is doing well. Other cryptos are doing well. 30K is kind of a magic number, right? So the fact that we're back at 30K, I think is reassuring, to say the least. If it breaks, I mean, look, let's be honest, right? Like red, 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 red might be a really quick climb up to the 200s, because really my next line, man, I think it's that. I do. I think it's the top of that candle. Sorry for the silence. I was just kind of thinking a little bit, but this is pretty insignificant. Don't get me wrong. It might be something. Maybe it's worth drawing this like 130. Looks like it's the top of this and the bottom of that. But man, this is really, if I was going to draw another line, I would draw that. I would draw 160 basically. And that's actually what I'm going to do. That looks about, no, sorry, too low. Sorry. Those two are probably the same. Bottom of that one. Yeah, same number I did last time. So I think this is a little bit better one. Again, like I said, if you want, you can do 130-ish is what it looked like. The top of this guy, bottom of this guy. But nah, that's just a whole mess of reds that I actually don't care about. And yeah, zooming out, there's nothing. Yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. This is actually looking really good. Now, look, there's a couple things to talk about, all right? This is a super, super, super high RSI. You know, I start to say, hey, get a little, you know, be a little careful around the 80s. This is in the 90s, right? But man, look at that. That's actually, I see green over red. It looks like it's actually going back up, and it just might be living here right now, right? So I think this looking good might be a little bit more important than this. And then, yeah, that's good volume. Right? Like we are going up relatively healthy right now. You know what I mean? So at this point, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens with 112 You know, you can set an alert for 113 and just see if that is able to rip right there. But I mean, yeah, there's still a lot to like here. And again, even though this RSI is 90, oh man, I'm not gonna lie, like, I think we might be living horizontal here for a bit here. I'm liking coin to say the least. Look, what is this line right here? 125. Okay, you know, maybe that 130 that I was talking about earlier will be a little difficult because that is the last moving average here. Again, we have not been trading for 200 weeks. We really just started trading for a few hundred weeks here, right? So get over the blue line in your overall moving averages, and yeah, that might be a little bit difficult right there, but man, there's a lot to like. And again, going from 100 to a buck 25, you're adding 25% right there potentially, right? Even if you can't get over that. So again, still a lot to actually like on coin, which is really cool to see. And one last time, if you can get over all the moving averages, man, it does tend to run really, really well, right? So let's move over into Marathon, Mara. Again, very similar chart to coin, right? Again, you see all five getting really tight, really tight, really tight. We started covering the video right here, if I'm not mistaken. I think the last time I might have covered this one was around 621, and I basically said, hey, let's get a confirmation on this doji, and then there we go, you know what I mean? And really, that confirmed it, that crushed it, and it just kept going all of those days, staying over the 8 moving average. Again, good things happen over the 8 moving average, right? And this thing is just doing its thing well over it. Volume is actually really consistent. It's not like coin. I don't know if you skipped it or not. Oh no, I spelled that right. Coin has been getting these like kind of pops, right? Marathon is actually relatively consistent, and truth be told, I like this a little more. I think this just seems more stable. This seems a little more sustaining, right? Like, I think with coin, you're kind of pop drop, pop drop, pop drop, pop drop. Here, I'd rather just hold and feel comfortable, you know what I mean? But ooh man, we crushed all my lines. I need to make more lines. So where are we to this? Have we broken this peak right here? Oh dude, we just broke that today. Nice, right? Because again, we're gonna basically want to come here. I think this is pretty realistic actually. 27 sitting at 19. That's a 30% window right there. I like that. Again, look, this is on the higher side of the RSIs, right? Like this is 83, but again, I'm seeing the green just peak over. This is doing a nice little divergence again, holding here. Marathon, I'm still liking it. I'll be honest with you. Worst case, maybe it does a little baby healthy cool down, but like this thing I think is going to want to come to here, and then really the next question is going to be, are we going to keep climbing or not? Because don't have $50 dreams just yet, but there's some interesting things really happening right here for sure. So I like the fact that we just looked at coin and Marathon. They both look good, and then yeah, that just ultimately makes me feel like the sector here is doing good, right? This like crypto sector, right? So oh man, look at that. We are on the last moving average on the weekly. That's nice. This is still a really healthy number. That's diverging and that's positive. That's diverging. Again, volume's looking good. Man, if this thing breaks, this thing can actually still keep running for sure. I like Marathon. And look, unlike coin, this one's actually at it and over it. Coin, not just yet. So, oh man, that's really interesting. Solid on both of these actually. And then NKLA, NKLA. All right, look at NKLA. On the last video, one of the things I talked about was the spacing of the moving averages, and red. It literally did it in one candle. That's just nasty, right? Like, I was kind of expecting this thing to like, you know, good candle, good candle, good candle, good candle. Instead, it goes horizontal for a little bit and then just massive run, right? So, look, this is what happened. Just hold the 8, good things happen, right? So, a bit of a pop, and, you know, the question is going to be, is this going to be a pump and dump or not, right? I know there was news. I think they're acquiring something. Again, that's generally a show of strength, right? So the fact that they're acquiring is it should be a good thing. It means that they're trying to expand. It means that they're trying to like improve what they got. It seems like they're not trying to start from the bottom. They're trying to take the learnings of the company that they got, right? Like those could be really good things for sure, right? For me, I'll be honest with you. I think it was just the fuel that it needed to break the moving average. I really wish this actually didn't happen. For me, me, it would have felt a little more sustainable if it was a few good candles up, you know? So I think my immediate reaction is this actually might drop to 2. Okay, I'm telling you, I don't think we're dropping all the way, like by any means. Maybe we hold like 50% candle at the worst and call it like 175, give or take. Yeah, I mean, look, I'll tell you, like I said, I liked NKLA on my last video, right? I would prefer a couple healthy candles versus this one big one, right? Because again, look at this thing. Yesterday, this volume was at 31 million. Again, that's a high number for most, but it 10x's to 310 plus, right? Like 31 to 310, like come on, right? So maybe a little bit exaggerated and extreme, but hey, if this thing can hold the 200, that's fantastic, right? And look at where we're at, right? Like we're actually coming on the way to the 50 on the weekly, right? So maybe even tomorrow has just a little bit of gas to take this thing to 258, 260. Where are we after hours? I'm a little curious. Oh man, we're holding. That's great. That actually is great to see. You know, I don't care too much about after hours, but yeah, it's positive that it's holding. Don't get me wrong, right? So really interesting. Like I said, I think, like I said, I wish it was something like this. Even this with a nice little like consistent volume, that would have been really cool. Like this would have been a healthy up. This would have been a healthy up. This is just a little violent, and you know, in some ways violent could be good. Violent can get into this and maybe even break this. I guess I should draw some of the next lines, really. I gotta draw this because this is actually a pretty good horizontal. It looks like it's the top of that too, but really after that, it comes here, right? And arguably speaking, I think it actually comes here. I don't think the bottom of this is gonna be anything. I think it's the top of this. So really a lot of cool things. Sorry about that. A lot of interesting things happening here. And again, if it can get over 3, it might be a fast climb to 525 actually. So NKLA, I'm liking it. I liked it on the last video. It definitely delivered on a single day. And yeah, as long as NASDAQ keeps looking good, tech should fly, right? So hey, let me know your thoughts. Otherwise, as always, thank you.